The Lorcana release is quickly approaching, like a meteor towards the indie trading card game scene. But will all of these games be forced to drop to their knees and go full on Wayne's World?
We're stuck! We suck!
Or is one of them super resilient and looks to stand aside even during Disney's crazy destruction? Let's talk about it. If you are a member of the indie trading card game scene, it's worth noting that Lorcana releases in August of 2023. And while you may or may not be personally interested or invested in Disney Lorcana, it's worth noting that Ravensburger is 100% going to try to pull money out of existing indie TCG community pockets to bolster their first release. And I think they might actually be rather successful in doing so. So today I want to talk about the release of Lorcana and the advantages it has over existing and established indie TCGs. We're going to get into some specifics there. And then more importantly, I want to talk about why Flesh and Blood, yes, FaB itself, has the ability to withstand Lorcana's release better than any other indie trading card game, and some pros and cons of its system that might help it survive the meteoric winter that will happen when Lorcana gets here. But we need to talk about what Lorcana is going to do better than every other indie TCG right off the bat. We're going to go into a couple specifics here, like I mentioned, and we're going to start with Sorcery, the latest and hottest trading card game that has been released. Sorcery has what I call the Rudy touch. It's been blessed because Rudy and most of the community believes in the game. It seems to be a great company, and from the people that I've talked to regarding the box openings and the cards themselves, it is an amazing experience. Now, Sorcery does look to get at enthusiasts by being a nicer boutique or fancier card game. It boasts high card quality, crazy custom art, and rare, hard to chase foils. Sorcery's angle here is that they want people to engage in collecting again. They want them proud to own the set. So this is a card game that is about owning the cards, building these sets, and being proud of the high-end things you own. In fact, this has been a massive complaint for Magic the Gathering in recent history. Magic is saying, well, when everything is special, nothing is special. Well, Sorcery tries to boast things that are special and make you feel proud of the things you own and the things that you've opened. And while this is fantastic, they did have to use a large amount of money to get this done, right? Sorcery notoriously had a giant Kickstarter that boosted when Rudy kind of blessed them and touched them because he likes the game, and this means that they had a larger financial backing. Well, this was needed because all of the art in the game is custom, and the cards are probably pretty expensive to print. I know that's all speculation. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I would think. But Lorcana, I believe, in my opinion, is actually going to have an advantage here. And the comparison here I'm going to use is with the most recent set of Magic the Gathering, The Lord of the Rings. When Disney Lorcana comes out, it won't be as rare as Sorcery. The art probably won't be as custom, but I believe it looks to drive people to collect it through the use of familiar IP. The most collectible Magic set that we have seen in decades at this point has been the Lord of the Rings release. And yes, outside of the pulling of the one-of-one ring, people are still purchasing the product and looking to finish various collections. I do believe this is in part, if not in majority, because of the popularity and familiarity people have with the Lord of the Rings IP. Well, Disney looks to do the same thing here, and they're looking to take advantage of that collectability by engaging their community and saying, hey, you want every Mickey card? You and I all know what Mickey is. We all know what Donald is. We all know what Goofy is. Get these cards, build your collection. Because of this, I believe they have an opportunity to pull a good amount of money out of the Sorcery pool. You couple that with the current plan for Sorcery is one set a year. Disney Lorcana is looking to release more than that to keep their enthusiasts engaged, and I truly believe people who start collections don't finish most of them, so they're going to be 75% collectors and then going to want to be on to the next thing, and Lorcana looks to do that extremely well. But we mentioned in that conversation that Lorcana looks to do that by leveraging the IP, and this is Lorcana's big advantage over another established indie trading card game. MetaZoo has notoriously gone for collectability and their IP. That community has boasted and claimed from the top of the mountain, look at all of our partnerships. We are spreading the brand. It is all about the MetaZoo IP. Well, Disney Lorcana not only has all of that power, but they have the use, maybe possibly, of the Disney marketing platform. Again, this partnership I know nothing about, there's nothing confirmed, but you can bet if the trading card game comes out and is making a bunch of money, Disney's going to jump on that bandwagon. That being said, it's going to be hard For a game like MetaZoo that's looking to leverage and build an IP from the ground up to compete in the trading card game specific space where there is a trading card game that is already satisfying those needs. It was already tough enough to compete against Pokemon, but hey, some people like the new hotness. And in this case, Disney Lorcana is going to be the new hotness. I truly believe it's going to be difficult to compete against that from MetaZoo's standpoint. Because of that, Disney Lorcana, in my opinion, will be pulling money from the MetaZoo community, much like they will be from the Sorcery community. But that leaves the big conversation about Flesh and Blood. I have here in my hand a Flesh and Blood card. The reason I'm holding this card is because I bought this card when I was at a Flesh and Blood event. I was actually short a couple cards. I went over to the MinMax Games booth and I picked up a couple cards to finish up my deck, and I saw this beautiful Sink Below. Now, side story here, I bought the Sink Below. It was $1. I said it has to come in the snap case that it was on there with, and I would keep it in this snap case forever. And that story aside, the reason I was at this event was to play Flesh and Blood and to do so competitively. And while I have said ad nauseum, I believe Flesh and Blood needs to cater more towards the casual enthusiast if it wants to see the growth that both the company and the community expect, I truly believe that the competitive nature of FaB will be its biggest defense against Disney Lorcana. Disney Lorcana's gameplay has been a bit exposed. It seems to be a remake or a reskin of other gameplay systems that we've seen in recent history, and it also says it doesn't necessarily look to be the most competitive game. They want to cater to the casual enthusiast, and while I believe this is a path to faster and bigger growth, this means it's not really satisfying any of the needs that Flesh and Blood is currently satisfying for its community. Couple that with the fact that the FaB community is unlike other indie trading card game communities in this way. The community has underwent some crazy changes and some highs of highs and lows of lows, the wild drama that has happened, and because of this, the community feels so tight-knit and so hard to crack into, and no matter what happens, the amount of positivity thrown around in the FaB community, the FaB could release the worst set in the world tomorrow and nobody would mind. They would just say, wait for the next one, we believe, we're on that train. And because of the zealot-like nature of the ingrained community and the extremely competitive and very well thought out game system, I truly believe there's an opportunity for the least destruction here. Now that means that Flesh and Blood is still weak where Lorcana is strong. Flesh and Blood notoriously doesn't have an amazing box opening experience for casual enthusiasts. If you buy one box off the shelf, it's more likely that you're going to get $20 in value than you are to get your money back. And I'm so excited about that, I wave my hands and smack my microphone. But because of this, we could see some casual dollar spend move out of the Flesh and Blood game and the community into Lorcana. But because of FaB's nature and highly competitive gameplay, I truly believe those who were ever going to come back in the first place will always do so. So that's my thoughts on the Lorcana release and how it relates to these three major indie trading card games. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that FaB is the most safe from Lorcana's release? Do you think Sorcery's hype makes it the most safe? Or do you think MetaZoo's IP and their marketing team will push Lorcana away and make themselves a staying power? Guys, this money, in my opinion, is going to come from somewhere. I think the biggest pull is going to be from indie TCG communities, but I want to hear what you think in the comments section below. I think we're almost towards 300 subs, so thank you so much for smashing the sub button. Make sure you share this video on any place that you engage with TCG conversations. Until next time, you guys know me, my name is Josh, and we will see you around. Goodbye.